Our tech wizard advises me that I am officially unmuted and let loose to say, good morning, beautiful people. I am Reverend Vicki Jeter, your minister and spiritual director for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. We are launching the first week of a whole new month, which how can we miss that? Everybody knows, oh my God, it's already March the 1st. And we have a number of special things to celebrate. Our new monthly theme is That's the Way We've Never Done It. Think about that for just a minute. That's the way we've never done it. As you can tell, it is going to be an interesting month. And at this very moment, I thoroughly encourage you to get ready, because the message that launches our theme comes from our Centers for Spiritual Living global spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Soni Cantrell-Smith, about which I'm very excited. Now, the message itself is a recording of the keynote speech that she gave opening convention in Charleston this last week. Some of you, most of you, hopefully will be aware that this last week in South Carolina, we had the Centers for Spiritual Living yearly convention. I think this might be every 2 years. And we had some people that were able to go to that in person, and then others of us were there virtually. And so this is the very first opening keynote that was given by Reverend Soni. And I very much encourage you to stay today for sharing time, if there's any way for you to do it at all, because Reverend Soni has most graciously planned to be with us for sharing time. So make lots of notes, because you will have the opportunity to actually ask your questions. Of course, this month we will also be celebrating St. Patty's Day and the sacred season of Easter, which is among my very most favorite holidays. And also, in our social culture, March is Women's History Month. And so just making some room, that was a lot, and each of those pieces will get touched on in their own time. To begin, just shifting our consciousness about the value of having these very special cultural months. Of course, last month was Black History Month, and this month is Women's History Month. And so I just want to offer a little from Women's History Month celebration for why that is. So Women's History Month is a celebration of women's contributions in history up until now, cultural and societal, and has been observed annually in the month of March in the United States since 1987. Should be 1897, but it's 1987. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter issued the first presidential proclamation declaring the week of March the 8th as National Women's History Week. 6 years later, they expanded it out to be Women's History Month. So just a few quotes that come out of this to give us some reflection going into prayer. I raise up my voice, not so I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. We cannot succeed when half of us are held back, or actually any of us are held back. And that was actually quoted by Malala Yousafzai. She was a young woman, is still probably a young woman, who changed the world by finding her voice. I know God won't give me anything I can't handle. I just wish he didn't trust me so much. And that was Mother Teresa. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. And that was Anne Frank. So, taking all of this into our opening prayer, we begin by setting our intentions. Take a moment now to see what brought you to be with us today. What portion of your personal masterpiece are you painting today? Our shared intention is to prepare to dive deep as we open wide our horizons of awareness and consciousness and intention for healing and transformation as inspired by our truly magnificent and yet equally humble global spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Soni Cantrell-Smith. And taking a breath into the space of prayer, we recognize there is one, and that one is all. That one is all light, life, love, peace, power, beauty, and joy. That is what we are, and it is all we are. And as it is all that is all, that I am for each person within the sound of my voice. And from that alignment in mind, heart, and soul, I absolutely realize the ultimate of the highest and best given and received for each person who engages this message now or in the future. I am so, so grateful for the communion with Reverend Dr. Soni and for the gift that Louise Talon has brought us by opening up this door in awareness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And with that, we do so welcome each and every one of you to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. We welcome all reflections of spirit, wherever you've come from, whatever your questions are, wherever you're going. Consider this a spiritual home. And this brings us into our opening song, which is Change as We Welcome in the Spring by Kai Lee.
I love the springtime, it brings me hope. Everything's blooming with life. All things seem possible this time of year. Somehow it all just feels right. But just as I start to get used to the spring, summer decides to arrive. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. I love the summer, it brings me love. Everything's fully alive. All things seem happier this time of year. Somehow it all just feels right. But just as I start to get used to the summer, autumn decides to arrive. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. I love the autumn, it brings me joy. Everything's colored with light. All things seem easier this time of year. Somehow it all just feels right. But just as I start to get used to the autumn, winter decides to arrive. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. I love the winter, it brings me peace. Everything's resting inside. All things seem clearer this time of year. Somehow it all just feels right. But just as I start to get used to the winter, spring then decides to arrive. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. Oh, life is in motion, everything's going to change. Oh, is in motion. Everything's going to, everything's going to, everything's going to change.
Which brings us right into our mission and vision. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God. And our vision, a world that honors and respects all people. And as we move into knowing that spirituality is only as valuable as we can actually apply it, I just want to acknowledge that awareness has arisen as I went through some of the special things about today. I said St. Patty's Day, and that's actually the way that I wrote it, and I was just having fun. But I do realize that it is actually St. Patrick's Day, which is important to the parallel between Easter and St. Patrick's Day. And I appreciate that awareness because it is important. And that's as a measure of shared leadership that we support each other and lift each other up in consciousness when we make those little mistakes. So, bringing us into the application of what we believe, because it is about how we apply it. This comes out of the Declaration of Principles. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. We believe in the co-creation of conditions through the power of this mind. And with that, I turn the word to the lovely Miss Louise Talon as our practitioner of the week.
Good morning. This morning's meditation is from a book called Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown. I'm just going to sort of ask you to take that moment to settle in. Reverend Soni's talk today is awakening unity, soul to soul to soul. And so this meditation really speaks to our interdependence and our reliance on one another. I just invite you to breathe, letting go of anything that has come before now. Settling in and taking this in. Do you already know that your existence, who and how you are, is in and of itself a contribution to the people and place around you? Not after or because you do some particular thing, but simply the miracle of your life. That who you are is a miracle. And do you already know that the people around you and the places have contributions as well? Do you really understand that your quality of life and your survival are tied to how authentic and generous the connections are between you and the people and place you live with and in? Are you actively practicing generosity and vulnerability to make the connections between you and others clear, open, available? Remembering that generosity here means giving of what you have without strings or expectations attached. And vulnerability means showing your needs. And we remember that love and connection are emergent processes. I stand before my love and let the tendrils unfurl in every direction. I am whole and becoming. Time is one instance examining itself. Mirrors seeing each other and blushing into eternity. I am the ant who carries grandfather to the grave in my palms. You lift the next day's meal, enough for everyone we know. We love in this rhythm, leaving home and returning on the wind. Love can't look away from itself, vibrating in the cell, fluttering breathless into sustained migration. I feel you like dust feels water and remembers the home galaxy. It appears nothing is new, never was, and nothing is truly massive when seen in its wholeness. Until I took this breath, repeating the miracle, I didn't know I would say it. I look to the sky, taste the wind on my tongue, and fling myself into the pattern. When I forget, when I think the end is near, I realize my insignificance as important as yours and begin to love again. So just taking that in. And again, remembering that you are important simply because of the miracle you are. And your existence is a contribution to the people and places around you. So today, I invite you to remember to be that miracle and to truly remember that each of us is divine and that we connect together soul to soul to soul, simply the divine, looking at the divine revealing the divine. And so I let it be, and so it is.
Thank you so much for that beautiful meditation, Louise. This brings us into our special music, Something is Calling Me by Jamie Lula.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feels like I'm walking on marbles.
still the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound, and everybody said that something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul, it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Oh, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live in these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I surrender my life to you, yeah. Oh Lord, I give my love, I give my life to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Faith. Faith is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Martin. Martin's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. God is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never
So it's my great pleasure to introduce this talk by the Reverend Dr. Soni Cantrell-Smith, CSL spiritual leader. Some of you know she's my partner in life, and I'm honored to introduce her. It was a wonderful talk. A Center for Spiritual Living, you may or may not know, is moving in some exciting new directions and opening up to new possibilities. And in this talk, she really speaks to that. And so I invite you to enjoy it.
All right, so the next person we're going to introduce was so near and dear to our heart that we fought over it.
We switched places, and then we decided, since we couldn't decide who's going to introduce her, we'd both do it. That's our keynote speaker for today.
Reverend Soni Cantrell-Smith. Reverend Soni is the founding minister of Ahava Center for Spiritual Living in Lexington, Kentucky. She graduated from Holmes Institute under the direction of Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith in 2006 and was ordained in 2011. Reverend Soni is steeped in the principles of science of mind and is a lifelong student of the philosophy.
For 10 years, she was a music director of Namaste CSL in Long Beach. All righty. And she has co-written a successful music titled Last Call, which has been performed in numerous venues throughout the country.
Reverend Soni has been active in 12-step work for over 30 years. She teaches spirituality classes at the Hope Center Rehabilitation for Women and is a co-founder of the Bluegrass Rainbow Faith Communities, dedicated to supporting faith communities in becoming open and affirming to all.
Reverend Soni has served as the CSL Minister Council for 6 years, 2 of which as the co-chair. She's previously served on the nominating committee as well as CSL Task Force. Reverend Soni has been serving this as CSL Interim Ministers team for 2 years.
Reverend Soni believes that we are all spiritual leaders. Woo! Okay, we as leaders must be able to articulate our vision and keep it alive through our faith in it. And we must create a sense of belonging and hope that this vision can transform our world.
Amen to that. And all I gotta say, she is the real deal. Please welcome Reverend Soni Cantrell-Smith, our spiritual leader.
Thank you. Have fun. Oh my goodness. So yes, I do have all the answers. And for $599, you can spend 4 hours with me over the weekend, and I will give you all the answers. But wait, there's more. Just kidding. Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to Charleston, South Carolina. Welcome to the South. We're here. We're here. We finally made it. I want to just shout out thank you to the Charleston Task Force for all the work that they did to support BDI and all the programs that we're unveiling here at this conference, and also my executive team and the Leadership Council, and all of you for showing up. I think I'm getting some feedback. Do you hear that? You don't, but I do. Okay, that's why I'm spiritual leader. Okay, I just want to put that out there because I hear the feedback. All right, and I get it a lot. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. You know, it's with immense joy and gratitude that I stand before you as your spiritual leader of this organization, surrounded by the collective energy of love and unity that binds us all together. You know, this city, Charleston, carries a rich history. It's a history with its charming cobblestone streets, its historic architecture, and the warm hospitality that is always present. It provides the perfect backdrop for our journey into the heart of spiritual awakening. Charleston's history is both charming and deeply complex. Beneath the cobblestone streets and historic facades lies a painful chapter in Charleston's past, a history intertwined with the institution of slavery. Charleston, like many cities in the southern United States, was a significant hub for the transatlantic slave trade. The echoes of the enslaved people's struggles, their resilience, and contributions to the city's development are ingrained in its soil. The beautiful architecture that we admire today is a testament to the labor of those denied basic human rights. Being here gives me the courage to look into the shadow of our organization. An example is the time in 1945 when the editor of Science of Mind magazine made a significant change in listing churches. The Third Church of Religious Science was moved from the listings to the bottom of the page with an asterisk that denoted colored. Dr. Holmes intervened, making sure that that would never happen again. He went to the Third Church of Religious Science where he spoke, and he said the following words: "This we must affirm. We are all living children of one spirit that permeates all without exception, one intelligence that governs all, and most importantly, every person who abides in the universe is a significant entity in the universal consciousness. Our doors will forever be open to all. Whoever you are, be proud you are a divine idea in the mind of God." Dr. Holmes's response stands as an inspiration to me. He didn't only pray about the situation, which I'm confident he did, or only do affirmations, which I'm sure that he did. In addition to whatever he did inwardly, he also got up and went into action. He balanced his inner conviction with his outer action. Some say to me, I am only here to teach science of mind. Others say, I'm not here to be political. Dr. Holmes was both. He taught the science of mind, and without being political, he took it into the world through his actions. Dr. Holmes said famously, "Find me 1,000 people in the world who know what religious science is and use it and live it as it is, and I'll myself live to see a new world, a new heaven, and a new earth here." His words continue to speak to us today, and they bring a keen sense of responsibility and commitment to the transformative power of our teaching. To me, he is reminding us that we are not mere spectators in this grand theater of life. We are active participants, co-creators of our destiny, and contributors to the well-being of our planet. I stand here today before you with a message, and my message for you is a familiar one. Every moment is the dawn of a new experience, such as this moment is. We are both sowing seeds and reaping the bounty of the seeds sown in the past. We are continuing, as Dr. Holmes encouraged us, to evolve beyond previous boundaries in consciousness and into an ever-expanding expression of the divine. To me, that looks like moving from the focus on me to embracing the powerful shift to we. From the individual to the collective, this is where we continue to awaken to the interconnectedness of all of life. This is where we continue to recognize that our individual journeys are interwoven into the fabric of a collective consciousness that is seeking unity, compassion, and love. I see it, I know it, and I feel it in my bones. But it's not about me, darn it. As Dr. Holmes said, you are religious science. I am not. When I first read his words, I said, I am religious science. And now I know that is too narrow. We are religious science. We are centers for spiritual living. I'd like to think that this is a moment of evolutionary change, as is every moment. This moment was set into consciousness by our spiritual predecessors, pioneers in both the spiritual and social realms. The early 20th century witnessed a remarkable confluence of two influential movements: the suffragettes, champions of women's rights, and the New Thought practitioners, explorers of consciousness and spirituality. It delights me that these two movements were threads in the tapestry of human evolution. It delights me that a blend of individual transformation and the seeds of sacred activism were sown so far back then, and that we continue to benefit from our ancestors' work. Because in the tapestry of our collective journey, each thread plays a vital role in weaving the intricate design of spiritual awakening and conscious living. Just as we acknowledge the suffragettes for helping pass the 19th Amendment, we also must acknowledge that many women of color, immigrant women, and poorer women continued to face barriers at the polls. We often hear the names of people like Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. We less often hear names like Marie Louise Bottineau Baldwin, Dr. Mabel Ping Hue Lee, and Nina Otero Warren, who made crucial contributions while battling racism and discrimination. As spiritual leaders, and we all are, as spiritual leaders and educators of centers for spiritual living, we recognize the significance of those who dedicated themselves to teaching the science of mind and sharing the vision that encompasses our sacred principles. And we also recognize we still have work to do. We have to understand our history if we want to secure our future. Our mission extends beyond the walls of our centers. It resonates in the hearts and the minds of those who are committed to carrying the message of sacred activism, blending spirituality with compassionate action. In this harmonious expression, every instructor, every practitioner of prayer and meditation contributes a unique melody, creating a rich symphony that echoes the universal call for love and understanding, belonging and transformation. together, as we embrace the richness of diversity within our spiritual practice, we must surely recognize that we need it all. The wisdom of science, the teachings of the heart, and the power of collective intention to co-create a world where love, peace, and divine consciousness will prevail. Our New Thought ancestors, much like us today, were not content with personal transformation. They understood that personal transformation and societal transformation evolve hand in hand. And to carry that tradition forward and benefit from the work of those who went before us is something that we must not abandon. What better place to carry this tradition forward than in Charleston? What better time to put our teaching into action as Dr. Holmes did than right now? Let us lean into the power we have to impact the world positively. Let us leave a footprint of love and compassion and transformation in the world. Why? So that this gathering in Charleston will be remembered as a convergence of hearts and minds committed to the greater good, and so that future generations of religious scientists will look back and know that mighty seeds were planted here. Let us begin by widening our view for a moment from personal growth and take in the world by asking what wants to happen through us. I like to ask the center of wisdom within me, as if talking to a wise inner counselor, what would the consciousness of oneness have me be? What would the consciousness of oneness have me do or say in this world? How may I serve the continued expression of oneness in our world? These are questions, I ask myself every day. And in my own inquiry, I realize that I have an advantage that those suffering do not have. The advantage is I can choose not to act. That is privilege. Because not taking action allows me to stay blind to the suffering of others. I'd like to share an inspiring story that a friend recently shared with me. It's about a perilous situation which unfolded some years ago at Panama City Beach in Florida. 9 family members, including 2 children and an elderly woman, found themselves ensnarled in the relentless ocean current. Witnessing their distress, Jessica Simmons, a woman on the shore, took decisive action. She and 80 other strangers swiftly formed a human chain that extended into the ocean. Their collective efforts, spanning over an entire hour, resulted in the miraculous rescue of all 9 people. I want to ask you to pause for a moment and envision that remarkable scenario. What if Jessica had lingered on the shore, contemplating the background of those in distress? What if she hesitated and thought to herself, "Ooh, I wonder what their nationality is. I wonder what their sexual orientation might be, their gender identity. their political affiliation, their religion, or their race. But she didn't. Instead, without hesitation, she exemplified the highest form of humanity, selfless compassion that exceeded any potential divisions. This true story challenges us to reflect on our own capacity for compassion and action when confronted with the needs of others. In a world often divided by labels and distinctions, the story of Jessica and those who joined the human chain reminds us of the strength that emerges when we stand united, driven solely by the universal language of humanity. Our own vision tells us we envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. Let us carry this sense of vision beyond these convention walls and into our daily lives. Let our actions be guided by love and our decisions be driven by compassion. As we leave our footprints of love in Charleston, let them ripple out into the world, creating a wave of positive change that transcends time and space. Let us embrace a new day for Centers for Spiritual Living with open hearts and open minds. And let us all awaken from the illusion of separation and recognize the power of we. Together, we are a power for good, a power for love, and a power for positive transformation. In Dr. Holmes's words, I believe in the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and this goal is surely to be attained by all. May our time here in Charleston be a catalyst for change, and may the love we share be a beacon that illuminates the path towards a brighter and more compassionate world. May the spirit of love guide us on this incredible journey together, soul to soul to soul. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, soul to soul to soul. In this moment now, knowing that the word has already been fulfilled by the law and acted upon, still we remember to practice the presence in the moment, to practice the tools that have been given us by those people on whose shoulders we stand. Dr. Ernest Holmes, Reverend Dr. Soni Cantrell, recognizing there is one life, one love, one power, one presence, one and only one, and as it is all that is all, that I am, as it is the all that is all, that each one of us is, that the collective entity of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, which encompasses everyone who has ever been touched by it. Mind, heart, and soul, we are one. And from this alignment, I realize right here and right now that the word that has been spoken, the word that has moved through the heart and mind of each person taking part in this message, receiving and giving, all of it is fulfilled by the law right here and right now, that in fact, this is a transformative moment and a grand rising of consciousness that reaches the globe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for the privilege of being part of it and for the humility to realize how foundationally important each and every being from each and every part of life is. We simply say yes, and we release it, we allow it to be, and so it is.
We now come to the time in our service where we get to give from the overflow. I just want to first thank you for supporting the Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter and all the ways that you do. The ways to give this are in the chat for you. You can give through PayPal, and you can send a check the old-fashioned way. Lots of ways to give and to support your center. And I'll invite you to join me in the Prosperity Affirmation this month. Right here, right now, I am thinking outside the box. I am drawing outside the lines. My receiving and giving of good is over the top today. Turn it over to Reverend Vicky to bless the offering.
And of course, the blessing is already in the room. Just knowing that it is fulfilled and that this symbolic moment seals everything that has been said, and that the fulfillment of it is our joy moving forward through this month and beyond. Thank you, Spirit. I release it, I allow it to be, and so it is.
So it is. Now we have our announcements. The first one is this coming Wednesday, March 6th. We have our first Wednesday Spiritual Connection, 7 p.m. to 8:15, right here on the same Zoom. And we'll be talking about some of the things we experienced at the convention, which was really wonderful. The men's group is this Thursday, March 7th, 6:30 p.m. on this very Zoom. So if you're interested in that, be sure to join in. Next Sunday, we're honored to have Katrina Dora, or one of our very own practitioners, as the speaker, speaking on the topic of up until now, if not now, when. So that should be exciting. And we also have coming up our movie night with the movie Hidden Figures, which if you haven't seen it, is a wonderful movie, from 7 to 9:30 p.m. on the Zoom link. And then for Easter Sunday on March 31st, you're invited to get some water-soluble paper, and that will be for releasing and embracing ceremony. And there is information on how to get that on Amazon that came out in the weekly update. And then a reminder that everyone is invited to stay for sharing time after the benediction, and Reverend Dr. Soni Cantrell-Smith will be here to answer your questions. And always remember that you are magnificent.
And to seal this with such joy and so much fun, and honoring all the feelings that go into it, we have the song Grateful by Nemo Patel and Daniel Nahmad.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around. the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything
All
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it
You're the
all.
blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart aligned in purpose. Everything
All
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all,
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Na 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 na.
Wait, one more. This is for y'all.
all that I am.
All that I've been.
It's a blessing.
It's so amazing.
I am grateful
With all of that joy and all of that gratitude, join me in the Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall softly on your fields. And until we meet again, Until we meet again, may God hold you and enfold you tight in the palm of his hands.